Hey everybody, Adam and Dangernation coming at you with another main slate breakdown for the Sports Capitalists, doing our Week 15 main slate breakdown. Before we jump into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Obviously, in the world of daily fantasy, information is key, so you want to get these videos as soon as they're available. So be sure to do that. Also, leave a comment. Feedback is always very important to us, or if you just have some picks that you don't think we talked about or that you think we did talk about that you don't like, different opinions are always crucial in daily fantasy because you can pick up on who a lot of people are going to play, who might be some guys flying under the radar, that sort of thing. So coming into week 15, and I'll do a disclaimer at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, I was just about
If
to
you
say.
haven't been following the news, we've got a lot of people hitting the reserve list in the NFL. So, and that list seems to be growing by the day. So be sure
Currently
to
at
monitor that up
127
until,
people. Yeah.
yeah. So be sure to monitor that up until the lineups lock, because that's going to be something to pay attention to, whether it's somebody that you want to play that ends up, unfortunately hitting that list, or if it's somebody that maybe you're not thinking of that's suddenly going to get a boost because of all of the people on maybe the other team that are hitting that list. So just want to throw that out as a disclaimer. This may be one of our less accurate videos just
Yeah.
because of the uncertainty going on in the league at the moment. But outside of that, Danger, how was your weekend last week?
Oh man, my weekend was good. My weekend was great just for the Rams winning. That was a huge
Yeah,
game, and I was a little worried at the very beginning because, again,
yeah,
I mean, Rams unfortunately kind of started the whole trend of everyone going on COVID IR right now. So,
mm-hmm,
yeah, again, you
yeah,
guys need to monitor that for sure because we record this late Thursday. Who knows what's going to happen 3 days from now, Sunday
yeah,
morning. So you
yeah,
guys got to do your homework after this video for sure, and see
yeah.
what's
It's
going on in the
much
morning.
much different than a standard injury report where there were people at practice and
Yeah,
that determines their likelihood of playing on Sunday. I mean, this seems like it can happen at any time, even the day of.
yeah, and like
So
they just had a huge. The owners just had a huge meeting down here in Irving, Texas, and the rule set for COVID has definitely gotten way more strict. Like
yeah,
they're like work from home now. The like all sorts of stuff. Like staff
yeah,
needs to be vaccinated, like mandatory. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So with all that news, like man, let's just do our thing, do the best
We'll
that
do
we
our
can.
best.
Yeah, do the best that we can this week, and
Yep.
go on in, man. Let's jump into the QBs. And Adam, who are we liking at the very top here?
So I think this one at the moment, this guy's my QB1, and I don't understand what DraftKings has been doing with this guy's pricing, but Dak Prescott's only
65,
6,500 this week.
dude. Yeah,
I I mean, even when he performs or maybe even underperforms, Dak's upside week to week.
is
I
huge.
can't imagine a scenario unless he's hurt, which I did see an article which he's admitted he's not like 100% in terms of injury, but his upside every week shouldn't justify him falling out of like the $7,000 range.
Yeah.
So so Dak Prescott, and they're playing the New York Giants. Even if you think they run away with it, it's a divisional game, so they'll probably keep their foot on the gas in that one. I think that's another crazy misprice on DraftKings end for Dak Prescott. Couple other guys I like towards the top. Kyler Murray, he was disappointing. I still hit on that bold play of 300 plus passing yards, but I mean, how do you have a game like that where you throw for over 300 and no touchdowns? I think it was two or three interceptions.
Dude, what's crazy is that
Just
he
nuts.
was
So,
close to 400 passing yards, two
hmm
interceptions, 61 yards rushing, and he still
hmm
scored 22 points.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
imagine if those were like if he had any touchdown passes. His
yeah.
yeah, it would have been crazy points last
And
week
we
against these
were
Rams.
we were chatting texting during the game because
Yeah.
Danger is our resident Rams fan if you're new here. Um,
Yeah, baby.
and I was just like, man, how different does this game look if Kyler Murray doesn't throw an interception at the 4 yard line and the Cardinals go up, like 10-0
Oh,
instead
it
of
would have been
suddenly it's the other way around.
yeah,
So
it would have been a super scary game.
yeah, so disappointing for him that week, but obviously I mean, that's probably the most passing upside we've seen from him. At least one of the top performances in passing that we've seen from him in terms of yardage this year. So they're playing Detroit. Detroit's already got their one win under the belt, so we can fade Detroit as much as we like now. So I like, in terms of the really top priced guys, I like Kyler Murray slightly better than Josh Allen, although Josh Allen's up there too.
Gotcha. For me, man, I got to go with Mr. Immunized himself, Aaron Rodgers. This
Hmm.
guy has just been on an absolute tear these last few weeks, and it doesn't seem to matter who he's going up against.
Yeah.
I know I know his toe has been an issue for like what seemed like about 5 weeks now,
Yeah.
and it does not seem to bother him enough to hinder his performance. And even though he's at a pretty expensive 35, Baltimore is not doing good. They're doing
Hmm.
huge turnovers on their offense, so even more opportunities for Rodgers to score here.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers is gonna be a great play.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I actually also really like Stafford this week too.
Me too.
It looks like he's back on track, even with those like games that he didn't look good. Funny enough, the last two games, him, Jackson, and Green Bay, and the Arizona, he scored the least amount of points in the Arizona game.
Hmm.
But again, this is against a very struggling Seahawks team that doesn't know what they're doing on either side of the ball. It looks like I know
Hmm.
they had a bit of like an uptick last week and all that with Tyler Lockett coming up clutch, but I man, it looks like he found his groove again. Again, like he had something going on with him,
Yeah.
but we were saying like he was like underthrowing, throwing behind, just slightly off, and like this week, if you had any questions about it, he looks like he's back on track. Like he was throwing dimes the whole game. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was vintage Matt Stafford. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's back, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I brought up in our main slate, or not the main slate, in my single Monday night game breakdown, how we had talked about in previous weeks, how
Yeah,
Stafford just seemed a little off in terms of his injury, and that didn't seem to be an issue on Monday night. So
not at
if
all.
he's truly back, then going against Seattle's awful defense is certainly a good play at 7,000. Do you have any more top guys before we jump into some
Not at
values?
all. Yeah, let's go into the budget and into some punt plays here.
All
I
right.
have one super punt play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I might know the direction where you're going with it, but we'll see. But
Oh,
my top value guy in my model at the moment is Jimmy Garoppolo at 5,800.
yeah.
Going against Atlanta's defense, that their offense just seems to be really clicking right now. It's a solid over under at 46.5, which is actually, I think, the second highest on the entire slate. Um, so Jimmy Garoppolo, and then there's a couple other guys we'll talk about later in the video on the 49ers side, and also on the Atlanta side, I think this game has a really good chance to go over. But Jimmy Garoppolo at 5,800, I really think can get you there,
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
just with how that offense has been performing. And then one more
Not to mention, I
value guy
think
that
Debo's back too next week.
yes,
So
yep, Debo should be back. So that'll be a big boost to their offense, and they're playing at home against Atlanta, so that should be really good news for the 49ers. And then one more value guy I'll touch on before I let you get into yours. Tua Tagovailoa is only 5,700. He's currently at my QB7, playing against the New York Jets, who can't stop a nosebleed. Um, maybe there's a little bit more of a chance that he slows down because it's the second time around playing him, so they might have a chance to game plan him a little bit better. But hard to trust the Jets defense stopping anybody right now. So Tua is certainly a good value play, but Jimmy G is a few spots ahead of him for me.
Gotcha. You kind of took both of my picks, and these are also
Oh
picks
no.
I've picked in the past too. I definitely prefer the Garoppolo over
Yeah,
Tua.
I
Again,
know you like
like
Jimmy G.
yeah, yeah. I for his price, like I think he's great. I think his
Yeah.
upside's always there too, to go
Hmm.
past 20 points.
Yeah.
And you have to remember this guy's kind of fighting for his job too. Right now,
Yeah.
he really is. Because even the coach, like they drafted Trey Lance last year. He's even had a couple games where he's played and he doesn't look half bad.
Hmm.
It looks like Shanahan is like moving on from Jimmy G. Like I don't know why. Like I feel like any team that Jimmy goes to is gonna be great. I would like, dude, if he gets traded or like goes into free agency or something like that, or gets put into waivers, he's gonna get picked up
Hmm.
very quick from teams and all
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I think Jimmy G is a great value pick this week. The one punt play that I have in mind, and I'm only bringing this up because I want to chase headlines, is
I knew it.
Trevor
I
Lawrence.
knew it. I
Trevor
knew
Lawrence
that's where
was
you
weak.
were going with it.
So if you
Yeah,
guys
I
haven't
agree.
heard,
100%.
yeah, if you guys haven't heard, I don't know where you've been. I'm assuming you have internet out, and if you do, how are you watching this video? But
Yeah.
Urban Meyer got fired. Like the
Mhm.
team hated him. Like
Yeah.
it was a toxic work environment. Like not just players, but the coaches hated his ass too.
Yeah.
And there's that human spirit, that human drive where you just want to say that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and they're going against a Houston defense this week, and hey, the offensive coordinator is now the head coach. I know it's very short term, so I'm not thinking there's going to be a miracle. The dude, Trevor Lawrence, has not thrown more than 2 touchdown passes in 6 games. That is crazy, dude. He's
Yeah.
thrown I think 8 interceptions. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like he's thrown 6 in the past 6 games compared to 1 TD. Like that's insanity. And I like I think any reasonable person, especially with everything going on in the league and with Urban Meyer, is definitely going to blame Urban Meyer over Trevor Lawrence's development
Yeah.
this year. But yeah, man, I'm going for the human spirit of pure spite this week. And
Yeah.
I really and I think you can safely say that amongst all of the Jaguar players this week with James Robinson and I'm blanking on the receiver name.
Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones. Yeah. Like I think there's going to be some fire this week with this team.
Yeah.
And
Well, Vegas agrees with you because Vegas, even though the Jacksonville Jaguars just fired their head coach, the Jaguars are 4.5-point favorites against the
are they
Houston
really?
Texans.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
So, yeah, Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence, I knew that's where you were going, and I 100% agree with it.
Yeah.
I love playing any Jaguars this week. I will
Yeah,
say that
yeah,
right now.
honestly, like I think the value's there, and
Mhm.
keep in mind these are punt plays, but still,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was going with. Rest in peace, Urban Meyer. You won't be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
what a story.
Dude, seriously. We are going on to the running backs right now, and let me just scroll into the top, and we got our. Oh wait, the Patriots are playing this weekend, right? That's why Jonathan
I
Taylor
think
is
so.
in here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yep,
so there
that's
isn't
why.
a single running back this week over 8,000. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. There's a lot of value to be had at the running back position.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, tell me what you're thinking right off the bat, then.
So, I still like the guys towards the top. Najee Harris is right now my RB4, and Joe Mixon is my RB6. And that's just based on price. They're 2 of the top guys in terms
Yeah,
of
I was
projected points, but
I was
again, there's
just
a lot of value to be had there.
I was just looking at
Um,
this again, and there's literally only 2 valid choices you can pick in the 7,000 range.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I still like them. I think there's some guys slightly cheaper that I really like. I love James Conner this week. at 6,400. Chase Edmonds got re-injured, so I think they put him back on the IR. So it is James Conner's backfield and going against a bad Detroit defense. Whether they have to pass or run, James Conner seems to be incredibly involved in
Yeah.
the game. Even when the Cardinals were trying to mount a comeback against the Rams, they still didn't give up on the run. And James Conner got a lot of work in the red zone. So
Yeah,
I love James Conner at only 6,400. I think that's a crazy. He should be at least 7,000.
Yeah, he
for
literally
sure.
put the team on his back last Monday, man. Like
Yeah.
9 for 9
So
targets for 94 yards and
yeah.
two touchdowns. Yeah, the guy was an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Monday.
And then I like our boy Cordarrelle Patterson. He's currently projecting at my RB3. We talked about Jimmy G in that same game. Again, this game is the second highest over under. So we talked about how Cordarrelle Patterson is Atlanta's RB1 and also kind of effectively their wide receiver one. So he's going to get a lot of work if he's healthy. So I think he's a incredible play as well. One guy that's projecting highly in my model that I'm not sure about is Elijah Mitchell. I know when he's healthy, he's kind of involved, but with Deebo Samuel back, he's getting a ton of rushing opportunity. So I think that kind of eats into Elijah Mitchell's upside.
I'm not.
So I think that 6,200 price tag might be a trap. I'll just say that.
Gotcha. I'm not
with
too worried about him getting vultured.
I think he's got a safe floor,
Yeah,
for sure, at 6,200. But I don't know that he's got like that crazy upside, just because of how much Deebo is involved in the rushing game. Unless you think they kind of ease Deebo back in from his injury.
No, I think
there's something to be
they're
said
here to
there,
win
but
games, man. They're in the
yeah,
hunt right now for playoffs. They're gonna use
yeah,
them as
agreed.
best
It's
they
just
can.
if you think that, that's the only argument that you can make for it. But I'm not crazy about him. But any other guys, Danger, that you're seeing kind of in the top end before we get into some values?
Man, not really. Like I'm just like scrolling down and I'm like, ooh, Swift is back. It looks like, but against the Cardinals
Defense, yeah.
run D. I mean, I think it's still valid though. I think you could still run this guy, but like, I know he had a gnarly shoulder injury. He didn't even participate in Thursday's game. It sounds like
Yeah.
he is going to go, but yeah, people thought he was going to be out for like the rest of the regular season, but he's back. That's a little scary. Monitor this guy
Yeah.
for sure.
I
But
don't know why you would do that. You're not in the playoff hunt.
yeah, why? Why?
Like,
Yeah,
just sit him.
yeah.
Why would you risk it?
You know what, man? Dan Campbell on the other side of the losing records, I would play for that guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would
that-
play
yeah.
for him, but still, that's a business decision that you got to make.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I'm not. Excited about Aaron Jones or Barkley here at all either.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I'm forced to play Jones in my fantasy league, but yeah, I mean we got Gibson here at 6,000 against
So
Phil. I think what's up?
I was going to bring him up as a value guy for me just because he's right at 6,000.
Yeah, I think he's a
he's-
good value play for sure. Like against a very suspect Philadelphia defense. So, I mean, all they got is I forgot his name. All they got is Cox in the
Fletcher
line.
Cox.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox.
And even then, he might even be. Hold on, let me Google his name because I thought I saw.
Is
his name
he
recently,
injured
so I wanna
too?
make
Is he on
sure he's
COVID?
not on the reserve list.
Control F, dude, to find it on that list.
I'm not seeing any articles to support that, so I
Gotcha.
can't
And-
say
yeah.
100%. But either way, the Eagles' defense is very bad.
Yeah.
Gibson at 6,000 is projecting as my RB5. He's right in between Najee Harris and Joe Mixon, so I think he's a great value there for sure.
What are you projecting for Sony Michel? 5,800. He skyrocketed from
Yeah,
5,000 last week. I guess it's because they weren't sure if Henderson's
gonna
playing,
be
but
back.
he's on the COVID-19 list. So I think that's definitely a good decent play.
yeah, for sure. At sub 6,000, we've seen what Sony Michel can do when he's given the RB1 duties.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't.
was
I
an
don't think.
RB1 at one point. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he found the end zone on Monday, but the week, I mean, he still had a solid game stats wise, and then the week before, he tore it up. So yeah, I think Michelle at 5,800 against a bad Seahawks defense is a good play. But a value guy that I like a lot better that we just got off talking about is James Robinson at 5,400.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. So any Jaguars player, I'm very interested in this
No
week.
one's
Just
gonna
based on
bench you.
narrative. Yeah, exactly. So he got a vote of confidence from the now head coach, formerly the offensive coordinator. He said earlier today that James Robinson is the RB1 in this offense. So he's going to get a lot of work, both rushing and passing. So he right now is my RB7, right below Joe Mixon. So he's right there in terms of in terms of value. So Antonio Gibson, James Robinson are my two favorite value guys on the running back side. Do you have any others that you want to talk about? Sony Michel's up there too.
Yeah,
sure.
no, I definitely agree with that. It's funny because I was just thinking about this while you were talking. Like last week, we were like, all these running backs look good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can start any of them. This week we're like, yeah, there's like 5.
Yeah, it's a kind of gross slate for running backs.
If there is one punt play I would bring out, it would be Rashard Penny, just because of what he did last week. There is no way, and I've dogged on Pete Carroll plenty of times on this podcast. There's no way you're gonna ignore this guy. 16 attempts, 140 yards, and just be like, nah, you know what? We're not gonna give him more work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, they're going against the Rams this week, but I mean, I still think, yeah, man, you could still start this guy against the Rams for sure. Like you might not get the 30 points, but you could definitely probably be scratching, right below 20. You know what I mean?
Which for 5,400 is good.
Yeah, because Lockett's out this week too. He's got the COVID-19.
Yes.
Metcalf, I don't remember, but yeah. Any
Metcalf is set to play at the moment.
Is
so.
he? Okay.
Yep.
Anything else for you on this slate?
Not on the running back side. The only guy I was thinking about bringing up was Rashad Penny. So we're on the same page so far today.
Yeah. Again, pickings are slim this week. All right, wide receivers coming in hot, and we got my boy Cooper Kupp getting reduced in price by $100 all the way down to 9,000. Going against the Seattles. Even at 9,000, especially how cheap the running backs are this week.
Yeah.
Start them, dude. Get them in there, dude.
I agree.
Like,
the only reason you wouldn't want to is maybe to get different in a tournament, but for cash with as cheap as the running backs are, you could fit Cooper Kupp into your lineup.
Yeah,
no
for
problem
sure.
there.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah. So I really like him. Other top guys, really like Deebo Samuel this week, coming back from injury at 8,200. I think he's going to be very involved in the offense, like you had mentioned. Devontae Adams is up there. That's if you like the Rodgers play that Danger mentioned earlier. Again, Baltimore's kind of a paper tiger on defense, so Devontae Adams at 8,900 could get you there too.
Yeah.
His floor might be a little more risky than Cooper Kupp, but I think Devontae Adams could certainly get you there for that price. And then just a couple other guys I want to touch on. CeeDee Lamb, I think he had a solid game last week, right? I don't
14
think it was crazy,
points.
but
No.
Okay, so maybe not then. Never mind. Yeah, not on DraftKings. 14 isn't good for that price. But we talked about Dak. They're playing the Giants, a divisional game. They're going to want to keep their foot on the gas. So I really like CeeDee Lamb still at only 7,400 this week. And then an interesting one that I think some people are kind of souring on based on the state of their offense, but Deontay Johnson at 75 is currently really up there in my model. Going against still a shaky Titans defense, especially kind of in the secondary, unless they move Kevin Byard to safety over and kind of help him out there. It just depends on how they game plan between Deontay and Claypool. But Deontay Johnson going against a questionable, I'll call it, Tennessee Titans defense. I really like Deontay at 7,500, and I think he might be a little more underowned based on kind of recent performance of the Steelers offense in general. So I think he could be an interesting pivot option off of maybe some of the CD Lamb chalk that you might see.
Yeah, and like I totally agree with you there. And I was even thinking about when we were back talking about the QBs. I'm like, should I be bold and just say Roethlisberger, like as a value play? Like
Yeah.
he's like throughout this whole season he has not been doing good, but past few games he's been competing. But it's just this team looks like just slightly dysfunctional. It's really odd.
They seem a little checked out since they announced, especially I think maybe some of them internally knew that Ben was done after this year.
Oh, they should have. They should have known this.
I mean, he should have been done 2 years ago. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's just been weird to see. But you know, if you want to go more narrative based and say kind of one for the road, you know, give us something to remember you by. I don't hate Roethlisberger if we're going back to the quarterbacks at 5,600. He's my QB 12.
Yeah, it's not the worst. Yeah.
No, QB 10. I'm sorry.
10? Oh.
So
okay.
So that's not bad. I don't hate that as a value play at all. But so yeah, if you want to go based on that narrative, I don't know if I would trust Roethlisberger as much as I would Deontay.
Or the stud Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd rather play Lawrence over Roethlisberger this week, but Roethlisberger is definitely a tournament play because of you know what he's done historically in his career, not necessarily this year, but you know he's still Ben Roethlisberger, so he'll give you the occasional game where he looks like Ben Roethlisberger. It's just most of his games this year have looked like he should have retired 2 years ago.
Yeah, like he should have the players that are saying like we were shocked to hear that I'm like, come on. Like, dude, I didn't play with the guy, and even the beginning of this year, I was like, this is his last year. There's just no way, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to DraftKings.
Back to receivers.
Back to receivers. The one expensive play I already said at Cooper Kupp, but I'm actually really liking Stephon Diggs this week too.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had like the stud performance that we kind of been expecting from him in these past recent weeks, games. Like the last like stud game he's had was against the Jets. I think this is a game to do it against Carolina. Carolina's D it's moderate to be nice. But yeah, I think this is a good game to play Stephon Diggs just based.
And they're very young. Carolina's defense is very young, so they're gonna have games where they look like incredible because they have this young talent that's looking to prove itself, and then they're gonna have games where they look like they shouldn't be playing professional football. So yeah, I certainly agree that this could very well be the week that Diggs has that big game that we haven't seen from him in a few weeks.
Yeah. And moving on to I'll start it off with the value picks, and I do want to have a moment of silence for my boy Jalen Waddle, who is not playing this week. I don't have my post to hitch my horse on this week and be like, just start this guy again.
Yeah, because this would have been the week to do it against the Jets.
Yeah,
for
against the Jets, man. Like, oh man. Yeah, I miss you, Waddle. But yeah. So where are we finding our picks this week?
My top value guy, building off of what you were saying, is Devontae Parker at 4,300.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
Let me scroll
for sure.
all the way down here for sure.
4,300, probably going to be chalk since he's now effectively the wide receiver 1 for this game.
Yeah.
So he'll be chalk, but I would eat that chalk all day at 4,300 for Miami's wide receiver 1 going against the Jets. I already talked about Tua earlier and how much I like him this week. So, and the Jets, similar to Carolina, especially since they're also super banged up on the defensive side. You know, they can't stop anybody, so they're very young. So like same thing with Carolina, they're gonna have weeks where they look lights out, incredible, like in some of the games that they've won, and then they'll have weeks where they can't stop Gardner Minshew, and they look like they shouldn't be playing professional football. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Devontae Parker is currently my top value guy at 4,300, especially due to the absence of Jalen Waddle. A
God.
couple other guys I want to bring up just real quick, and I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes there.
No, you're fine, man. Go for it.
Brandon Cooks at 5,800. We expect Jacksonville to light the world on fire this week, so Houston's gonna have to catch up somehow. So we already know the state of Jacksonville's defense, regardless of whether Urban Meyer's there or not. It's not like he was calling any defensive plays.
I forgot.
So,
Is Tyrod or Davis starting? I think it's Davis.
I'm showing currently that it's Davis.
Yeah.
So that's shaky, but they're still good. Even in the games where Davis Mills has played, they were still good for a lot of garbage time points.
Yeah.
So even if Jacksonville really runs away with it, people tend to let Houston, kind of close the gap a little bit towards the end because they're up by so much. So I like Brandon Cooks at 5,800, if nothing else than to just get some garbage time points there. And then we mentioned Tyler Lockett being out this week, so DK Metcalf at 6,200 is a crazy. I mean, I don't blame him for the misprice based on what happened last week, and we didn't know that Tyler Lockett was going to be on the reserve list. But now that he is, DK Metcalf, at 6,200. Danger, do you want to re-up our bet this week if DK Metcalf outscores Tyler Lockett?
Dude, why not, man? No.
Yeah.
Man, you still gotta pay up that bet, dude.
Yeah, I do.
I
gotta send back all my Lions money.
I need my Detroit Lion money back.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it to you after we stop recording.
Gotcha. No, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
I think, and I've been dogging on this guy too for the past couple of weeks, but I think this might just be the week to do it because I'm hoping that the New York Giants are just going to double up on CeeDee Lamb, making room for Amari Cooper to shine.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is I think this is the week to start him. He's 64. He's $500 more than he was last week. That's unfortunate, even though he only had a 16-point game. Like, that's kind of crummy. Yeah. But again, it's against the Giants. I think this is a great game to go for him this week too. And just to throw in there too, I don't think Gallup is that half bad of a pick either, man. Gallup has been getting more and more involved in this offense. And I think it's mainly because, and he's only $900 cheaper than Amari Cooper. That's probably why Cooper is at 64 is because Gallup has been performing really well these past few weeks. If you guys don't know, Gallup, this is probably his last season with the Cowboys. He was injured at a point in the season, so he's going to be competing to not. I don't think he's going to stay, but I think he's trying to make himself look good to get picked up by another team in the offseason. So he's got to make himself look good. But I think so I think we just literally said all the receiving core of the Cowboys, but
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I got two more. And one's a little controversial, I think, and that's going to be Chase Claypool. Say what you will about what he did last week. It was a bonehead move. It was low football IQ. It was selfish. The list goes on and on. If you don't know, he had there was final drive of the game. There was 30 seconds on the clock. He got a fourth down. He did a first down celebration, literally wasting. Yeah. Literally
he held it there too. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah, he didn't know where he was, man. To be honest, but he's still an incredible athlete. That's gonna be man. He's gonna be in our league for probably another 5 to 10 years. He actually went down in price this week, $200, and I think you could get another repeat performance out of him, man. He did all this without a touchdown last week too, at 17 points. I think this is a get right game for him. He has to know he messed up, even though the post interview says otherwise. That he had. I think this is a get right. He's gonna have to, the human emotion, armchair quarterback in me wants to say like, yeah, man, he loves this game. He's gonna do what he can, prove
Yeah.
right to his teammates. And one more person, who's right above Gallup for me is gonna be Van Jefferson Jr.
Hmm.
He's really been showing up. He's been stepping up ever since Woods has gone down. And man,
Yeah.
he's been incredible, dude. Like, yeah, he's only probably he is red zone dependent. Not gonna lie, but man, I think he's like a budget Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna get 100 plus yards, but he's gonna be like at 0 points throughout like the whole game, and then 40-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Well,
man.
and I think his floor is safer this week because obviously Woods has been out for a good amount of time, but Odell Beckham is on the reserve list.
Oh, that's right.
So those
I
targets,
forgot about that.
those
Yeah,
targets got to go somewhere.
dude, who's
And obviously
replacing him?
that also benefits Cooper Kupp, but
Yeah.
yeah, Van Jefferson, he's at my wide receiver 14. I think he should be a little higher, honestly,
Yeah.
because of how much extra target share he should get at 5,600. I think that's a great guy to call out.
Dude, who's the wide receiver? I don't even know. Like if you guys weren't aware last week too, they called up 6 people from the practice squad to play against the Cardinals. That is crazy. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
and Kyler
who's
Murray
our
still
wide
made sure they
receiver
won.
3, man? Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, what?
I even if there is a wide receiver 3 there, I wouldn't bother with it. I would really only be interested in Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson.
Yeah. All right. What? We moving on to tight ends here?
I'm good to move on to tight
All
ends.
right,
Yeah.
moving on to the tight ends here. And all the way at the top, who also has been on a complete tear, is our boy George Kittle. He is questionable, but that's never really stopped him from playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll
he's
play.
been an absolute beast, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just because of price, he's knocked down to my tight end 3 in terms of the value index, but he's projected to have the most fantasy points among all tight ends on the slate. So yeah, I think without question, you're fine if you can fit $7,500 in for a tight end with George Kittle, then yeah, I think that's a no-brainer play there.
Yeah.
But in terms of other guys, who's the next most? Because I have it sorted
Mark
in terms
Andrews.
of value. Who's the next most expensive?
Mark Andrews by an 1,100 decrease.
Ooh, oh yeah, he's kind of down there. Ugh. In terms of my value, I'm not as interested in him this week. I would say George. I would much rather pay up for George Kittle than Mark Andrews. But a couple guys in the cheaper range that I do like at the tight end position. We keep talking about the Cowboys. Dalton Schultz is only 4,900 this week. Love him at that price. I would love him if he was at 5,500. So if we're at below 5,000 for Dalton Schultz against a bad New York Giants defense, and how much we think of the Cowboys offense there, really like him there. And then one guy that we've talked about over the recent weeks, and he still doesn't seem to be getting priced up, is Dawson Knox at 5,100 for Buffalo. Still crazy involved in the offense. Maybe the stats aren't there like week to week, but the targets are. And so, I mean, it's just very consistent for only 5,100. So I think that's a good value play there. Danger, any other guys that you're seeing that you like?
Yeah, man. Well, you took Knox from me.
Yeah.
The only other person I'm actually kind of like looking at is probably going to be Dallas Goddard.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, last week 6 for 6, 100 yards. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts starts this week, which is it's not gonna matter who it starts because you're going against Washington. I still think this is a good play. Like, yeah, apparently Minshew had, Goddard had Minshew mania fever, dude. Like that week, he did incredible. But I hope he keeps the streak going.
Yeah.
With Hurts for sure. I don't think it's gonna be 31 points. I think it's gonna be more
No.
like 15. But yeah, he'll get you there.
But 15 at 5,300 for the tight end position
Yeah.
is good for sure.
Yeah.
Because we talked about the vacated targets in Los Angeles. Tyler Higbee's only 4,000. We've brought him up in recent weeks and it hasn't really panned out for him. But again, now with Odell Beckham being out, the target's got to go somewhere. So I wouldn't mind trying Tyler Higbee again at 4,000, even though uh, hasn't been great if you've been playing Tyler Higbee consistently.
No, yeah, he's coming back from IR, but yeah.
Yeah,
Who who was I thinking of? Doesn't matter. All right,
probably former Ohio Governor John Kasich.
Yes, maybe. All right, moving on to our defense here, and we have the Cardinals all the way at the top at 4,000.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're playing Detroit, so and they'll probably get a good ownership share. But that is kind of a tough price to eat on defense, but I think it's worth it. The Cardinals' defense is good enough to where they can really shut down Detroit's offense.
Gotcha.
Only thing going for them, I guess, or going against them, I guess, is they're on a short week and they're on the road. So those would be two contributing factors against the Cardinals defense. But outside of that, um, pretty safe to fade the Detroit Lions offense at this point.
Yeah.
So
What are
the
your value picks for the defense this week?
so guy defense is under 3,000. I think the Broncos is an interesting choice. The Cincinnati offense just doesn't seem to be, outside of Joe Mixon, doesn't seem to be clicking as much, and they're in Denver. Denver, wow, Denver's actually 2.5 point home favorites at the moment against the Bengals, which I think is a little surprising. So I think that's an interesting play at 2,900, and the over/under is only 44 there. So I think that's a solid pick there. Conversely, I mean, you could make the same argument for the Bengals defense against the Denver offense. If you think it's going to be low scoring, or if you think it's kind of a get right game for the Cincinnati Bengals in general.
Yeah.
I think their defense at 2,900 is interesting, but most of the other defenses I'm interested in are kind of above that 3,000 mark. We talked about the Cardinals at 4,000. Mike Glennon starting for the Giants again, so the Cowboys defense is going to be super chalky, but also probably worth it. Um, and then I like the Bills defense this week at 3,100 going against Carolina.
Yeah, I think that
So
might have to be a pay up. Like that seems more like secure. You know what I
yeah,
mean? With the
for sure.
Bills, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Any other ones that you really like that I didn't mention?
I think there is a punt play, and I think the only punt play there is the Jets this week.
Oh,
Yeah, against
okay.
Miami. Maybe you know what? Like, I can see it, man. Miami just comes in and falls flat on their face
Yeah,
in this game, and Jets somehow take it over. Wilson has
yeah,
been performing better. Who knows, man? Like that
yeah.
might be the thing.
Could be.
Yeah.
It is one of the low. It's only a 41 over under, so that's a plus in terms of both the Miami and the Jets defense this week. So, um, yeah, that's certainly a punt play. As our resident Jets fan, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's certainly a tournament play for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think those are honestly my thoughts on this week. We kind of blew through this episode pretty quickly. It's only been like
Yeah, I
40
think
minutes.
yeah we found our rhythm a little bit. Do we
Yeah.
want to do our spreads and over unders real quick
Let's
for
do
the
it,
main
man.
slate?
Jump into
All
it.
right, perfect. All right, so starting off with the New York Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Over under is 44.5. Danger over or under?
Over.
Okay, I'm gonna go under on that one because I don't trust Mike Lennon to do anything correctly. The Cowboys are 10.5 point road favorites.
Against who was it again? New
The
York
Giants.
Giants? Yeah, no, man. Dallas.
Yeah, I'll take Dallas there too. I can't imagine putting money on Mike Lennon.
No.
Um, the Detroit Lions are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. I almost called them the Arizona Coyotes. I got hockey on the brain. Um, Over under is surprisingly the highest on the slate at 47.5. So danger over or under for
Seriously?
this one.
Under.
Yeah, under for me too on that one.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I was about to say the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 13-point road favorites.
Yeah, I'll take that action.
Yeah, I
It would
will
be
too.
amazing if they beat them this week.
If the
Like,
Lions pull it off.
yeah, just again,
Yeah,
they don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Murray is a little banged up.
yeah.
Connor's a
I
little
don't think that
banged up.
matters though. I think it's going to be a big Connor week for
Yeah,
sure.
but yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Over under is 46.5.
Give me over.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that one too. San Francisco is 9.5-point home favorites.
I don't know why, but give me Falcons.
I'll stick with the favorites and go with the 49ers on that one.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. The Buffalo Bills hosting the Carolina Panthers. Over under is 44.5.
Yeah, give me the under on that.
I think I'll take the over on that one, but it's close. I'm not crazy about it. Buffalo 10.5-point home favorites.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Let me get rid of those so I can keep track of where I'm at. The Denver Broncos hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Over under is an even 44.
I think that can go over for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think
Denver is 2.5-point home favorites.
Yeah, I think both teams have enough juice. Oh, really? Denver is. You
Yeah,
know what?
Denver's
Yeah,
favorite
keep
in this
me
game.
keep me with Denver.
This will be my first underdog pick. I'll take the Bengals plus 2.5 in that one.
Gotcha.
I would honestly probably take their money line, just because I think they're fighting for that playoff spot.
Yeah. So is Broncos technically.
That's true, yeah. But the Bengals window has opened up a little more with what's happening in Cleveland right now.
Yeah, yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Green Bay Packers. Over under is 43.5.
Oh no, go over.
Yeah, I'll take the over there too.
Yeah, I do think I do think Green Bay's. No, give me under. I think
You'll
Green
take the
Bay's. Yeah, I think Green Bay's defense is good, and I think
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is on a downswing for some reason right now.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing well recently.
Is it in Maryland? Yeah, it's at the
Yeah, it's
Ravens'
at
place.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so give me Green Bay. Yeah,
I'll still take the over there. The Packers are 5.5-point road favorites.
yeah. Give me Green Bay.
I'll take the home underdogs on that one. I'll take the Ravens.
If they win this game, they secure the NFC #1 seed, right?
Do they? I don't. Maybe that is now because the Cardinals lost. I'm not sure. Honestly.
You know what? Yeah, don't quote me on that, guys.
But it could be. I mean, they're up there for sure.
I think they need to win 2.
Yeah. The Miami Dolphins are hosting the New York Jets. The over/under is 41.
Yeah, give me under.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that one too. Miami is. Oh, this sucks. Miami is 9.5-point home favorites.
You know what, man? I put it out there in the universe. Give me the Jets.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
right.
As the Jets fan, I'm taking Miami.
Gotcha.
The Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Washington football team. Over/under is 44.
Give me over.
Yeah, same here. The Eagles are 9.5-point home favorites.
Give me Washington.
Yeah, that's too many in my opinion. Give me the football team with the points there.
Yeah.
The new and improved Jacksonville Jaguars are hosting the Houston Texans. Lowest over/under on the slate at 39.5.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one.
I can't remember the last time I heard something was under 40 points. So with the narrative that we talked about earlier, I would have to say that this is going to be an over.
Yeah.
So over.
Yeah, I'll go the same way. And then I'm pretty sure I know where you're going to go with the next pick. Jacksonville, 4.5-point home favorites.
Give me Jags.
Yeah, give me the Jags, baby. The post Urban Meyer Jags all day.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Tennessee Titans. The over/under is 43.
43.
Mhm.
Give me over.
I think I'll take the under on that one.
I think Brown is on the IR, but Julio's back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously the Titans still without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
The Titans are half-point road favorites.
Half a point.
Yeah, half a point.
Oh man.
So essentially a
crazy.
pick 'em, but
Yeah. Give me Steelers.
yeah, give me Steelers. The Titans are my second team because I'm here, but yeah, this seems like a letdown game for the Titans. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll take the Steelers at home there as well. And then we'll end it with your team, the Los Angeles Rams hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Over/under is 45.
Who? Give me under.
I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I'll take the over on that one.
I think. Yeah,
Rams.
Yeah. Rams by 1 billion.
Yeah, Rams are 5.5-point favorites.
Yeah. Give me Rams.
Yeah, I'll take that too. All right. So that's going to do it for our main slate video, guys. Again, be sure to monitor, all the reserve list and everything that's happening right up until lineups lock, and even after that, maybe for afternoon games and stuff. Just something to be wary of. Make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description below. That's where you can find a bunch of our content as well as other sports if you're into them. So we do NBA, MLB, college basketball, college football, Danger Devils, and esports. I do NASCAR, so we got a little something for everybody. So make sure to join that. You'll also be able to get access to our final rankings, closer to the time that kickoff happens, and then also you'll get our rankings for the Saturday slate. There's a couple games on Saturday if you want to play those. So be sure to join that. It's 100% free. There's no monthly membership. It's just a group of people that we want to get together to talk about daily fantasy and general betting picks. So be sure to join the Discord, monitor that reserve list before you lock in your lineups. Danger, any parting thoughts?
No, not whatsoever. Hey, go Jags, and let's make some money
That's
out
right.
there.
Yeah, bet your house on the Jaguars. Everybody,
Yeah.
good luck this weekend.
All right. Goodbye.